Hello and good morning, Apple Brooks. Thank you for being on here. Good morning. I woke up in the middle of the night, in the wee hours of the morning, and I shared a video. Does reincarnation exist? And I've got a lot of feedback, and it's really good. There's a lot of comments on Facebook and the YouTube, and different points of view. And that it really is good to be able to speak about that, because I think it is a topic that needs to be brought up, but it's a very taboo topic for some. It is, and it's not easy for me to approach it, but I feel led within my spirit to talk about it. I really do, and because it is a sensitive topic in some religious circles. It is. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you and thank you for being here. I don't know why that would pop in my mind when I wake up in the wee hours of the morning, but I've thought about it for a while. I have, off and on, because it is true. You will meet a total stranger, and you will have never seen them before in your entire lifetime. But yet, when you see them and you speak to them, it literally is as if you have known them all of your life. And really, you have to ask yourself, how is that possible? How is that possible? It doesn't even make sense to feel like you've known someone your whole life, especially a total stranger. But in a world that really doesn't make sense at times, I think it does make a lot of sense if you explore different areas and different theories that are out there that you may not have even been open to even exploring. Hello. Yeah. And the same way goes with, I have to not look at the comments, you all. Let me, I got to try to move this. Well, that's okay. So yeah, you meet people that you feel like you've known your whole entire life. Now, when I was a teacher's aide in like a Title IV classroom with some of the more challenged students, there was this elementary teacher. This was in Maryland at Fort George G. Meade Elementary School. And she looked like me. I had to look twice. I thought, oh my gosh, she looks like an older version of me. At that time, I had long brown wavy hair. I was like in my 30s, long brown wavy hair, and she had short hair. She was my build too. I thought, wow, this is really strange. And I would just stare at her. Of course, she was older than me. So there was that instance. And you know, I've had people tell me that they have like ran into somebody who they knew. And they said, well, weren't you just over there in this other town or other store that they were in? We just talked to you. How you doing? They swore up and down that they saw her somewhere else, when the fact is she had been where she's at for that time span. So how is that possible? Okay, how is that possible? And there are people said, you know, Gina, you need Jesus. You need Jesus, Gina, because reincarnation does not exist. And you know, when I was growing up, I grew up in church, and you didn't talk like this. You didn't. And there is scripture in the comments. You can see you were appointed once to die. That's in the Bible. Okay, but this is the thing I want to get at, you all. This may not be for everyone, and I'm not coming on here to come against you or anything, no matter what faith you're in, what you believe or anything. I'm just talking about there is a theory out there of reincarnation, that you have lived many lives. I am a very old soul. I've known this for years and years and years, that I am an old soul in this body, and I am a spirit in this body, So when this body dies, my spirit's going to go on. It is. You may say, well, Gina, you're talking about your soul. Well, however you want to say it, I'm not going to die. Okay, this essence within me is not going to die. It's going to go on. This body may die, but I won't die. I won't die. And that's how I personally feel. You may not feel that. You may not. But listen to this. So there's this reference that you can go to. If you say, well, it's not in the Bible. Well, okay, listen. It's called Mark chapter 3, or chapter 9, verse 13. It says, he's talking to the people, and Jesus says, Elijah does indeed come first, and he restores all things. When then is it written that the Son of Man, they're saying, the Son of Man must suffer many things and be rejected. So this is the question. Jesus said, but I tell you that Elijah has indeed come, and they have done to him whatever they wished, just as it is written about him. So they knew who he was talking about. Jesus was talking about John the Baptist. They were looking for they were looking for Elijah. Okay, and he's telling them Elijah already came, and you did to him what you wanted because they didn't recognize him. Why didn't they recognize him? It's because he wore these clothes, and look at this. He wore camel's hair. He wore camel's hair, and they were looking for somebody else. Okay, how could John the Baptist be Elijah? How could he be the Elijah that was to come that Jesus was speaking about if the essence of Elijah was not in that body? How could that be? Did you ever sit and think of how is that possible? And they didn't recognize him, but Jesus said he did come. He did come. And then, so we have Mary and we have Elizabeth, okay? And Elizabeth has this baby in her belly. I've spoken about this. An angel came and told her because she couldn't have children that she was going to give birth to a child, and she was to name him John. That's what was said. And Mary, the same thing. She was going to give him a name too. So there's an account. I want you to keep an open mind. You may not agree, but please keep an open mind. So in Luke 1, this is what is happening. So Luke 1, verse 41. So Mary, she got ready to go to the country of Judah, and where she entered the home of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth, who has this baby in her belly, and Mary has a baby in her belly too. So when Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the baby leaped in her womb. You may say, now how can a baby leap in her womb? She was just feeling the baby move. See, people say that. Okay, and Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit, and in a loud voice she exclaimed, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb." You know, I never did know. I'm going to pause right there. I never knew where that phrase came from. Blessed are you among women, and blessed are the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. See, they repeat it in the Roman Catholic Church. I never knew where that came from. I never did until just now. So she said, I'm so honored that the Mary, of the mother of my Lord, should come to me. For as soon as the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the baby in my womb leaped for joy. The baby in her womb leaped for joy. That baby was John, who had the spirit of Elijah, the essence of Elijah that was prophesied to come within it. And Jesus, okay, that was the spirit too. See, it recognized that spirit. How could it be if the baby did not have Elijah reincarnated? Let's take away the word reincarnated. Within that, the essence of that baby had that spirit in there, taking on a form. How could that be, you? How can you dismiss that? You can if you want. You may say, oh, Gina, you're reading too much into that. And then you have, the people have babies. They think, well, the baby don't even have a conscience. It doesn't even have nothing before it's born. Well, explain that. Okay, explain that. And you may, okay, now let's go to this. Can spirits occupy bodies? Can you have a spirit take over a body? Can you have a spirit within a body? If I'm a spirit in this body. Okay, so we have Mark chapter 1, 21 through 28, it says, "A man with an unclean spirit cried out, 'What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God.' But Jesus rebuked him, saying, 'Be silent and come out of him.'" So there was a spirit that occupied the body of this man, and that spirit that got into that man knew who Jesus was and knew that there is something that has been foretold about their destruction. That spirit knew, but the spirit was taken out of that man. How can that be? Okay, we have these unclean spirits that are in bodies on this earth doing unfathomable things. We do. We have that happening. It's possession. They take possession of the body. Spirits take possessions of people's bodies. They do. Some are not good spirits, you all. They're not. But some are. Some are good spirits. They are. And I can feel I can feel something coming at me. I can feel an unclean spirit in the spiritual realm. Does not like what I'm saying, and some other spirits that do not like what I'm saying, who are watching me inside these bodies of these people. That's just too bad. I just share whatever I feel led within my body to share. Okay, so and on the grounds of reincarnation. Part 2. Does it exist? I think it does exist. There are people who identify with themselves as being an old soul. You have John the Baptist, who came back in the spirit of Elijah, and they didn't recognize him. They didn't. He was clothed in camel's hair. I don't know what they were looking for, but Jesus told him he did come. Okay? So that would really classify as being reincarnated into another body, that essence, boom, in that body form, just like that. So with that being said, I am going to go, and I thank you for the comments. I do. That is a theory that you come back and you keep repeating this cycle over and over again until you get it right. Some people say Earth is a classroom. Yeah, and it's interesting to hear all the different theories out there in the comments. And I would ask you to please keep your comments respectful. I would. And I'm not saying this to offend anyone either. I'm not. And I hope you realize that. But I'm saying there's some references in the Bible that seem to point to something like that. And since we're on this subject, we know that there is an Antichrist spirit on this earth. There is, but there's going to be one main spirit, and that spirit is going to take on a human body. Okay, it's going to take the form of a body too. There's these spirits that take over people's bodies, you all. This ain't no joke. This is real. It is. Our battles are spiritual on this earth. Hello, Danielle. It's all spiritual. And you know, you have people who do the pendulum swing. They're contacting spirits from the other realms, okay? And these spirits are talking back to them also. Sometimes they may contact unclean spirits. Sometimes they may not. They claim to be in contact with people who have passed on. And I just want to say this too. There are people who are born. There's children, little bitty children, who remember being someone else in another lifetime. They do. They remember, they have accounts of being someone else. And they're pretty precise when people have went and investigated the accounts by these children, that they were such and such. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, you got this pineal gland, and we have the whole theory behind this pineal gland that it is like a connection. It helps you to remember, but now the pineal gland is getting calcified. it's calcified, and there's people going through great efforts to uncalcify this pineal gland. Why? Why? What is the significance about it? Okay? And why, when children go to the dentist, you are given, around age 5, your first trip to the dentist, and if you wait a little bit longer, you're given fluoride that you are supposed to hold in your mouth, big old thing, and you don't eat or drink anything for 30 minutes. Why that? Why that? Why? Why all these things, you all? And why do we have to even ask why? Okay, why do we have to ask why? Because a lot of things are starting to make us question our reality that we live in. That's why. And again, I'm just going to tell you, this is a very touchy subject when you get into the religious circles. If you speak of reincarnation, because it's not something you're supposed to speak about. It is considered taboo. It is considered blasphemous. You are considered to be delving into something that you should not delve within. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I'm a free spirit within this body. I am. And I like to think outside the box. I really do. And I like to draw similarities when I see things. I do. So with that being said, thank you for coming on here. And I'll say it again. Hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you and thank you for coming on here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you, moderators, for being on here. Thank you all for listening. And this subject is not for everyone. And I don't mean any offense to you whatsoever. I'm just drawing correlations and I'm just asking questions. That's it. Because it's something that we need to think about, regardless of your religious background. Have a wonderful rest of your day.